to this afternoon's Year 9 lesson. Okay, what I'd like you to do is have a go at the challenge grid in front of you, pause the video, have a go, and let me know how you do. Right guys, you should be finished by now. I'm going to go through each one of these. You don't need a calculator this afternoon. These are quite straightforward questions. Okay, we should be able to smash through these quite quickly. So I've got 2,115 divided by 5. 5 doesn't go into 2. 5 goes into 21 4 times, remainder 1. 5 goes into 11 twice, remainder 1. 5 goes into 15 3 times. Mine is 423. Next one. Okay, I got 956 plus 68. 8 plus 6 is 14. 5 plus 6 plus 1 is 12. 9 plus 1 is 10. My answer is 1024. Next, 74 times 58. Okay, exactly the same as you would normally. Find a way that works for you. Okay, don't mind what. It doesn't really matter which way you multiply. All that matters is you get it right most of the time. Okay, so 7 times 5 is 35. 4 times 5 is 20. 7 times 8 is 56. And 4 times 8 is 32. First slide, you got 2. Next, you got 6, a 3, and a 0, which is 9. A 5, 5, and a 2, which is 12. And a 3 and a 1, which is 4. So my answer is 4,292. 9x equals 63. If we divide both sides by 9 to get it just down to 1x, because 1x is what we're trying to find, 1x equals 7. 587 take away 276. Okay, make sure you line everything up correctly. If you need to borrow, please do. Okay, 7 take away 6 is 1. 8 take away 7 is 1. 5 take away 2 is 3. Easy work, 311. Last one, okay, so 6x times x is 6x squared. So multiplying this out. Then 6x times 2 is 12x. And then 3x goes on the end. Okay, these two are the same, so I can simplify them. 6x squared plus 15x. 20% of 860, okay, easy work. 10%, just chop off a 0 is 86. Then 20% would be double that amount. 20% times both sides by 2 is 192. Share £77 in a ratio 2 to 5, okay. I've got to work out first how much the shares add up to. 2 plus 5, altogether 7 shares. £77 is the amount of money, divided by 7 gives me £11 per share. There's £11 per share, 2 lots of that is 22, and 5 lots of that is 55. Adding fractions is easy, just got to make sure the bottom numbers are the same. In order to do that, I'm going to times them together. 7 times 6 is 42 on the bottom of both. Cross multiply, 3 times 6 is 18. 7 times 1 is 7. 18 plus 7 is 25 over 42. Right guys, that should all be marked or close to marked. Pause the video if you need to take time marking it. Okay, anywhere close to 15 out of 18 is really, really good. Okay, so well done if you got that. Right then, so finding the next two terms. So starting this off, okay, find the next two terms in a sequence. Really straightforward. First things first, you've got to look at the jumps. What is it going up in? So this first one here is going up in 3s. If it's going up in 3s, my next number is going to be 17. My number after that is going to be 20. Okay, really straightforward sequences are. This one down by here, it doesn't seem to be going up in the same amount each time. It goes up in 1, 2, 4, 8. Okay, it just goes up in different amounts each time. So in this one, you've got to try and pick apart what's actually happening. 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and 8 to 16. What's happening, it's times in by 2 each time. So 16 times by 2 is 32. 32 times by 2 is 64. Okay, it's doubling. So some of them go up in nice straight lines. Some of them don't. They double or divide by 2 or something different each time. What I'd like you to do is pause the video, write those examples down, and have a go at the ones on the right hand side that say your turn. Right, hopefully you've had time to write that example down now, and you've had a go at the ones over here. First one, going up in 5s. Going up in 5s, the next one's going to be 30, and then 35. This one is going 400, it's going down 200, goes down 100, goes down 50. Okay, what's actually happening, is halving each time. Okay, so it's halving, so half of 50 is 25, and half of 25 is 12.5. Okay, so those should be marked up, guys. Well done if you got those right. Okay, always looking for patterns. Right, if you're ready, and if you think you get that, pause the video for me and have a go at these, please. Okay, the ones on the left are quite easy. The ones on the right, you've got to fill in 2 missing gaps. So you're filling in the gaps in the middle, not the gaps on the end. Hopefully you've had enough time to do those, guys. You paused the video and had a go. If you didn't, don't worry, okay? The bits in green are the rules, and the bits that I filled in are the bits that are missing in the middle. Pause the video now and mark what you've done. Right then, so moving on. So we're going to be looking for the nth term, okay? A rule used to describe a sequence algebraically. So if I look at these jumps, now this is going up 4, going up 4 again, goes up 4 again, and 4 again. So we're adding 4 each time, and that's really important. Okay, so we're adding 4 each time. Think of another one that adds up 4 each time, is the 4 times table, and I've written the 4 times table down by here. Now the 4 times table can be written as 4n. Okay, when you're dealing with sequences, the 4 times table can be written as 4n. Okay, so I start my nth term equation, because it's going up in 4s, it's going to be something to do with the 4 times table. Then you've got to work out how you get from each of these to there. How do I get from my 4 times table to the numbers I've been given? If you look at each one, it's exactly the same every single time. So it's going to be 4n. Every single one, you take away 5 to get to the number you're after. Pause the video, write that down for me. Right, hopefully that's written down. Okay, so a similar thing again. If you're looking at what it's going up in each time, it's going up in 2s. Think of something that obviously goes up in 2s as well. That would be the 2 times table. So I'm going to write down the 2 times table. 2 times table, when you're dealing with nth term, is written as 2n. That goes by here, 2n. And then you've got to work out how do you get from your 2 times table to the numbers you're dealing with. It'll be the same for every single number. Every single number, you've got to add 1. Okay, the quick way to get these numbers, okay, it's always going to be something n plus or minus something. Quick way to get these numbers. This one on the left hand side in front of the n is your jumps. That's what you go up in each time. So the number in front of the n every single time is your jumps. These jumps, so this one is going up in 2s, so it's going to be a 2n. The number on the end is whatever comes before the first number is the number on the end every single time. Before first number. So whatever happens every single time, the number on the end is whatever comes before the first number. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video and write that down for me. Right, so you should have had time to write that down. I've got to see some sequences by here. I'm just going to practice the method we just did. Okay, look at the first one. It's going up in 10s. So it's going to be 10n because it's going up in 10s. Remember, this number is your jumps. And the number on the end is whatever comes before the first number. Well, my first number is 16 and it's going up in 10s. So whatever comes before 16 is going to be positive 6. So my answer is 10n plus 6. Right, guys, what I'd like you to do is pause the video and have a go at the remaining 4 questions. Remembering, the one on the left is your jumps, the number on the right is whatever comes before the first number. Right, so you should have had time to do that now. What I'd like you to do is mark whatever you've done. We've got 10n plus 6, 3n plus 5, 2n plus 7, 4n take away 4, and 5n take away 6. Super straightforward. Right then, so first 5 terms in the sequence. Okay, this is a little bit different. Okay, you're basically doing whatever we just did, but you're going backwards now. So instead of being given 5 numbers, I'm starting with the nth term formula, and I'm going to go backwards. Okay, so 4n plus 9. Okay, best thing to do always is to find the first number. And if you're finding the first number in a sequence, you're going to put the number 1 in instead of n. So if we want to know what the first number in a sequence is, I've got to put the number 1 in instead of n. So I'm going to do 4 times 1 plus 9. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 9 gives me 13. That's my first number. Then the important bit, remember what this 4 means. The 4 means you're going up in that amount each time, so you only have to sub in the first number. Once you know the first number is going up in 4s, I'm going to have 13, 17, 21, 25, 30. It's going up in 4s. Remember that. It's really important you remember that bit. Not 30, sorry. Oops, I don't know why I wrote 30. It's on the bottom 29. Pause the video, guys, get that example down. Right then, so hopefully you've had enough time to copy that down. Looking for the first number again. If I want the first number, remember, I've got to sub the number 1 in. So it's 2 times by 1 minus 3. 2 times 1 is 2, take away 3 is negative 1. Remember, it's going up in this number each time. It's going up in 2's. So minus 1, positive 1, positive 3, positive 5, and positive 7 are the first 5 numbers. Once you've found the first number, just go in whatever the jumps are. Just go up in those. Just get the first number written down. Pause the video, guys, get that copy down. Right, hopefully you've had enough time to copy that down. Have a go at some of these for me, guys. Remember, finding the first number, on the first one, first number would be 3 times by 1 plus 2. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So my first 5 numbers are going to be 5. It's going up in 3's. Okay, so 5, 8, 11, 14, 17. Really straightforward. Have a go at that for me, guys. Right, hopefully that's all done. Okay, pause the video now and mark whatever you've done so far. Right then, so let's have a go at a GCSE question now. So this is how it would look for you at GCSE level. We're going to do 2 of them. Okay, we're going to have enough time to do 2. Pause the video now, have a go at a GCSE style question. 4 marks on this. Right, so you should be done on that. Okay, 4 marks. Normally paper 2, usually it does sometimes come up on higher, but it's mostly foundation and intermediate. Okay, write down the first 3 terms of sequence whose nth term is given by 2n, take away 5. Remember what we do. If I'm looking for the first 5 numbers, I've got to find out what the first number is. To do that, I do 2 times by 1, take away 5. 2 times 1 is 2, take away 5 is negative 3. So my first number is negative 3. Remember, it's going up in 2's. So I've got negative 3, negative 1, and positive 1. Really straightforward. Underneath, write down an nth term expression for the following sequence. Okay, it's going up in 4's each time. So it's going to be 4n. Then whatever comes before the first number goes on the end. It's going up in 4's, so before the first number will be positive 3. So my answer for my nth term equation is 4n plus 3. Really straightforward. Pause the video now. If you got it wrong, mark it, correct it. Try and understand where you went wrong. Right, guys, another GCSE question. Last one we'll do today. Pause the video now. Have a go. If you're not feeling confident, you are welcome to copy it down when I do it. But I'd like you to have a go. Right then, so write down the nth term of the following sequence. Okay, it's going up in 1's. So it's going to be 1n or just n. Then whatever comes before the first number goes on the end. Positive 2 comes on the end, so it's going to be n plus 2. That's the nth term of the sequence. Really easy. Down the bottom, find the nth term of a different sequence is given by n squared plus 7. Write down the first 3 terms. I'm going to put the numbers 1, 2, and 3 in instead of the letter n. Okay, 1 squared plus 7, 2 squared plus 7, and 3 squared plus 7. All you've got to do, whatever term number you want, if you just put it in instead of the letter n, it'll tell you what it is. 1 squared 1 times 1 is 1, plus 7 is 8. 2 squared 2 times 2 is 4, plus 7 is 11. 3 squared 3 times 3 is 9, plus 7 is 16. Okay, so I've got 8, 11, 16.